Hey guys, welcome back to the Stuff of Legend. My name is D'Lo, and I have another video for you guys. So today, I wanted to expand upon, because I just simply can't stop thinking about it, the Star Wars, the Clone Wars revival. So we're coming back for season 7 of Star Wars, the Clone Wars. This is supposed to air on the Disney streaming service, which is to be announced. So we're gonna learn more about that streaming service. Probably in the days to come, probably after the deal with Disney purchasing Fox is done wrapping. Once they get through the legal stuff, we're gonna learn about when exactly to expect Star Wars: The Clone Wars and the Disney streaming service, which will be there as well with tons of other Star Wars content and probably every Star Wars content we've ever had. It's really exciting stuff. I can't wait. But today, I'll start off with this little tease. Check out what we found, me and my wife, found at Hot Topic today. Look at this bad boy. CAD Bane. One of the, CAD Bane, one of the fan favorites. So much so that it was essentially demanded as its own thing. He wasn't part of a series, he's part of his own standalone thing here. Disney, Star Wars. They knew they were bringing back the Clone Wars, right? So they did this whole segment of Clone Wars pops, like Anakin, Obi-Wan. They had 2 different Ahsokas. They have a Yoda, and they also had released this CAD Bane. And there was several ones. The other ones aren't quite out yet, I don't believe, but you can pre-order some of them at GameStops. I've already pre-ordered my Anakin and Obi-Wan. Spoiler. I was gonna make a video about that. Whatever. Who cares? And it's looking so good. I cannot wait for that. But the Clone Wars TV series is the best. Those of you guys who have stuck it out, who have seen the Clone Wars beyond season 1, have seen that it is not a kid's show. This thing is brutal, but it's brutal in the best possible way. I mean, they don't have like blood, right? But they do have beheadings. They have lightsaber. They have Asajj Ventress picking up. If you don't know who that is, you just gotta watch the Clone Wars. You gotta pick her. They pick up a clone, throw him on the lightsaber, and now it's right through his chest. And as he's dying with his final breaths, she goes in and kisses him, and then lets him fall to the ground. Some really crazy stuff. I'm talking about some of the gnarliest force using and lightsaber battles you've ever seen in this amazing, beautifully animated TV series called The Clone Wars. They're bringing back for a final season, and they're tying in not only the stuff that already happened in Clone Wars, but the stuff that happens in Rebels. I think they're starting to bridge those gaps. And just to be clear, the timeline goes, it's the Clone Wars animated movie, the Clone Wars TV show, and now, and this is right after Attack of the Clones. So it's Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars animated movie, Clone Wars animated TV series, and now they're gonna put this season 7 right leading into Revenge of the Sith. And that's why in the trailer, I heard some people talking about it like, oh, the animation doesn't look good, it doesn't look finished. Actually, it looks better. And that's the thing, is that with this type of animation, yes, it was designed for kids. They actually went more detailed on Anakin and Obi-Wan, giving them more creases in the chin and the jawline, in the hair. They made the hair and everybody. They all look like they do in Revenge of the Sith because they're trying to make sure that we understand that this is going to lead into the Battle of Coruscant. Like this is going to kind of lead into probably the Outer Rim sieges, probably even the Mandalorian. I think it was the Civil War. Let me just double check my notes. Whenever I start to stray, you guys probably have noticed this. I ramble a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm being accurate with you guys. And last time I made this video, it's the Siege of Mandalore. That's what it was. I'm sorry. It's not the Civil War. That happened I think it was thousands of years prior. And it continued because it split the nation. It split the planet, and then there was Mandalorians that are in factions now, so it divided everybody. But the Siege of Mandalore, this one looks really cool. When I saw the trailer at first, I wasn't thinking, right? I just saw Ahsoka, and I saw a female in Mandalorian armor turn around. In my mind, I had just gotten done watching some Rebels, so I was like, oh my gosh, it's Sabine. It's not obviously her suit, but I was like, oh, it's in the past. I was like, wait a minute, that's way too far in the past. She would not be that old. And she's not. I was wrong. So it's not Ahsoka coming back with Sabine. That's not what happened. What it was Bo-Katan Kryze. And let me just make sure my notes are correct, because they show her in the Clone Wars. It's been a little while since I was in that season, so I gotta just brush up real quick. Let me look at my notes. She was a member of the Mandalorian Death Watch terror group, and Maul's conquest of Mandalore forced the Republic into an uneasy alliance with an old enemy. Bo-Katan and the Death Watch played a crucial role in during the siege of Mandalore. And so it looks like this is where Dave Filoni is going. Those notes right there were right off of Screen Rant's post about the Clone Wars, so I just read that off of there. Full disclosure, I'll put the link down there in the description so you guys can check that out too. But it looks good, guys. It looks like they're going to lead right into Count Dooku's siege. When they showed all the Star Destroyers, they're the Republic cruisers, but they're the Star Destroyers that are to be soon. They start flooding out at the very end of the video. It looks like they're going to the Outer Rim sieges, where they're going to pour all their forces out there. It looks like because Bo-Katan Kryze is coming back with Ahsoka is saying, hey, Master Obi-Wan, I need your help. Master and Obi-Wan, I need your help. And then they're not going to be able to help, probably, because they're going to be busy with that siege, and they're in the middle of the heat of this war. It's coming to a climax, and soon we're going to have Revenge of the Sith. So this is something that's really exciting. I will be willing to bet that because they dumped Darth Maul into the Solo movie, full disclosure, that's a spoiler for you guys. You guys should have already seen this by now. If you haven't seen it, you're either boycotting it or you just don't care. So I'm not going to care. I'm going to tell you why you should go see it, because Darth Maul's in the freaking movie and you need to see it. It was a really great movie. Anyway, whole nother subject. I would be willing to bet we're going to see CAD Bane doing business. It's really hard to do the CAD Bane voice. I'm CAD Bane. CAD Bane. It's really hard to do that. It almost sounds like a country fried smoker of 150 years. It's kind of what it sounds like. But it's a really great character. Super savage, and I would bet that those Mandalorians and the Death Watch are going to get as much help as they can. Obviously, they reached out to Ahsoka, or Ahsoka reached out to them, whatever. But I'm sure both sides are going to seek to get as much help as they can in this giant war, the Civil War. It is a form of a civil war. Don't get it confused like I did, where it's not the Mandalorian Civil War. It is another civil disagreement of the Mandalorians. It's not the Mandalorian Civil War. It's the Siege of Mandalore. And there's going to be some huge problems to solve. So that'll be cool to see. I want to see more of this guy, just like most of you guys do. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see CAD Bane in the final season finale of the Clone Wars. And do you guys maybe want to see a movie with him? I know people have been talking about the Boba Fett movie, which, by the way, I am very excited about. I think that'll be great. It's the director of Logan, and I think it was the writer on what was the other one? I forget who did it. I think it was one of the X-Men films. I'll have to do that research really quick. But right now is not the time for that. But anyway, the people that are putting that film together for Boba Fett are very talented, very skilled. And I would love to see them put together some grimy, gritty, bounty hunter film for Boba Fett. I think that would be great. But a lot of people were like, I don't want a Boba Fett film. I want a CAD Bane film. And I would agree. I also want a CAD Bane film. But I don't want it to be or. I want both. I'm kind of selfish like that. I want more. I want more of all that. And I'm getting a boost of confidence and faith with Disney, because we're seeing them start to hear the fans. We're seeing them start to say, hey, the fans want the Clone Wars. The fans want Dave Filoni to do the Clone Wars. We're going to let Dave Filoni do the Clone Wars because we need the good press, dang it. And so that I'm totally in love with that idea. They're kind of starting to remodel their ideas and positions about Star Wars and making Star Wars films. They're saying, hey, we can't pander to SJWs. That's such a smaller market. They're a loud market, but they're not a huge market. And obviously, that hurt their pockets when they did that with The Last Jedi. They saw Solo fail because they weren't listening to fans. And so, even though Solo was great, it failed. I want to make that distinction. It was great, but it still failed to make money. And so, yeah, this is basically just what I'm getting at. I thought it was really interesting and cool how when they did, in the little trailer for the Clone Wars, they show the... when Obi-Wan and Anakin start walking into that room, okay, Rex, what is it? What do you need? So important, blah, blah, blah. It's showing basically that the Republic is turning into the Empire. if you look around that room, it looks just like the shots of the Empire in episodes 4, 5, and 6. Whenever they show those rooms, it's got like all the guys and the hats and the suits, and you know, like they're there. It's the same crew. It's the same like group, not the same people necessarily, but it's the same suits, uniforms, starships, the Star Destroyers. The dim lighting, it kind of looks almost like Mustafar. It's not, but it looks like Mustafar, and it looks like Revenge of the Sith. It looks like the Republic turning into the first galactic empire. You know, like that's one of my favorite quotes by Emperor Palpatine. In order to secure, I'll do that for you guys in a different video, but it's so good. Anyway, I really liked how they're foreshadowing all this stuff just in this teaser trailer. The thought that Dave Filoni puts behind his work is exhausting in a good way. Not for us, the viewers, but it's so exhaustive the way that he breaks these things down. So let me know if you guys liked that, if you guys noticed those things down in the comments below. I cannot wait to see this thing, and I cannot wait to talk with you guys in the comments about the Clone Wars. So thank you guys. Stay tuned for more right here on The Stuff of Legend.